Hello everybody and welcome, whether you're somebody that knows me of old or somebody that has discovered me due to this wonderful YouTube hop that we are organising on the 15th of May, which is International Families Day. I thought that I would put together a little accordion style junk journal style folder, something that you can hold all your bits in. However, as you know, this particular YouTube hop is all about you and how much you matter to us. And so I thought I would put a little secret message in there so that when you're making these for yourself, it can just remind you to keep your kind of inner critic in check, to make sure your inner critic is saying all the nice things to you. So you can see here I'm going through all the bits and pieces that we need. I've got some magazines there. These are matte paged magazines, my favourite. I've got a ruler, a craft knife, some inks, a hole punch, some glue, some masking tape, some ribbon and a couple of bits of plain paper. I often find these magazines, these are interior furnishing magazines and architecture magazines, they always have this lovely matte paper inside them, and I just love it for crafting with. But you could use anything, you know, raid your cupboard for all the bits and pieces you have left over. I'm not going to give you exact measurements because this will work with anything you have, but you need to begin with 3 lengths of paper that are the same length and width, so you can see me trimming that down. And you're going to fold them sort of into each other. So I haven't necessarily got into the middle, but you need both sides of that page to just overlap each other just a little bit. And keep in your mind how much they are overlapping, because all 3 need to be the same. You stick a bit of masking tape over the fold and then pop it in. Now, can you see also that where those pages have overlapped, it's not right at the end of my paper, it's sort of somewhere close to the middle. So here we go again. I fold over one edge, crease it down, and fold over the other edge so it just meets the original edge, and then use my masking tape. Now, those of you who have been watching me for quite a while will know that, you know, I'm never exact with my measurements. So don't worry if some of these tubes of paper are slightly wider than each other. You need them to be roughly the same, but please don't get into that frame of mind where everything has to be exact. Okay, so now I'm going to take a piece of white paper and I'm going to cut out 2 pieces that are approximately 5 centimeters wide. So I take those 2 bits of 5 centimeter width paper, fold them in half, crease them, and then I grab some more bits from those magazines that I had originally, and I'm just selecting some colours, some strips of colour. And this is something that I do all of the time. I take these bits of paper, I call them crunchy bits of paper, less because of their physical texture, but more because when you layer them up together, you get this lovely kind of feel of things crunching up against each other, colours that shouldn't perhaps go together that suddenly do. So I just layer these up, little bits and pieces, and again you could use anything that you've got to hand. This would work brilliant with some old jelly prints that you might have, or some old wipe-offs from your paintbrushes. I'm just layering them up and making 2 folded over little tabs, I guess, using all my bits of paper. So as you're watching me do this, probably now is a brilliant time to just say to you that this YouTube hop has been put together by a number of those of us who are online YouTube artists, by way of reminding you how much you matter during this difficult time that the world is experiencing. We do know that for those of you who are crafty, some of you may be on your own. You know, we tend to be those that have the loudest inner critics in our heads. You know, we just wanted to remind you how much you matter to us. So you can see here that I am taking another little piece of paper. This isn't a folded over tab one. This is probably about three centimeters wide, I guess. And this is going to make a front plate for my little accordion style journal. So again, just making it match up with those little bits on the inside. Now you need to take those paper tubes and you need to fold them all in half. So you've got a little crease in the middle, and these are in the end going to be the pockets in our little journal. So fold them in half, and then the glue, you need to put a glue line up the middle and then some glue sort of about 2 centimeters down the bottom of a square. So can you see here, I make the square and then a line up the middle. So here I am measuring my pockets. I've got my 9.5 centimeters. It's actually 9 centimeters wide, but I add on a 5 centimeters, so I've got a bit of room to fiddle as I make the front and back covers. The back cover needs to be much longer, so I make it the length plus a half. So 14 centimeters plus a half is 21. Now I head to these interior decorating magazines. You can actually pick these up free. If you go onto Google and search for interior wallpaper designers, quite often they have brochures that you can order for free, and they are just gorgeous. So I select a couple of pages out of there, and then I'm going to measure out and use my craft knife to cut out those two shapes using the measurements above. So here we are, I've stuck the front cover onto the front bit, that's that chair, and the back bit onto the back, and you can see that there's a long flap at the top. Now to stick my plates and my little tabs on. So the first thing I do is just cut that tab. I actually end up making it a bit narrower as well. And then I head to my hole punch and I punch out 7 little circles. Now you don't have to do this. What I'm going to end up doing is just stamping some letters on here. You could get some letters out of an old book. You could handwrite some letters on some white paper. You could use letters from stickers. You could do anything. So what I'm going to do is spell out a very special message that I really want you all to spell out too, because I've designed this journal especially so that this sentence is highlighted every single time you open this journal. Now I take those letters, you've all seen what it spells now, right? And I'm going to put those letters onto my 2 folded over tabs. Now you can see here that I'm sort of alternating where I put the letters, and that's so that when I put these tabs into my accordion journal, they differentiate. So I've got one colourway, then the next, then the first one. You'll see what I mean when I stick them in. So I cut them nice and narrow. I'm cutting them right up close to those letters intentionally, because these are now going to go into my accordion style journal, and they will actually spell out that word every single time I open it. I will be able to see that word. Okay, here we go with the sticking, and this is going to be the bit which is more complicated to say than it is for you to watch. First thing I do is stick on that front plate that has the letter I on it. Then I put some glue on the inside of these tabs and I stick them so that they are just peeping out over the top. So probably about 1/2 centimetre is stuck inside the pocket and 1/2 is on the outside. And most of these, so M, A, T, T and E, are stuck onto the back end of each of the concertina pockets. So as I open them up, I slot them in and I stick them in. The R is stuck at the front, but on the far right hand side. And that is because you wouldn't be able to stick it in the back, because that back bit is stuck right up against the back cover. So there you go, all those letters nicely stuck on. So now we need to make sure that this top cover is capable of folding over even when it's full. So I'm going to make my first crease, and that crease is where it'll sort of open and close when my journal isn't really full. And now what I do is I make some other folds. And what you're going to see is when I pick this up and you see it, you get like several ridges, so that as I fill out this accordion style journal, it will still be able to fold over neatly. I then take my hole punch and I punch 2 holes in a line at the top of that fold over. And I then take some ribbon and I lace it through from the inside on both holes. I wonder if you've arrived at my part of the hop first, or whether you have travelled through all the other artists. If you head to the description below this video, you will see the link to your next video. For now, this accordion style journal is complete and she is waiting to be sent to you. If you would like to be in a chance to win this accordion style journal, please comment in the comments below and subscribe to this channel, and you will be entered into a random draw which I will pull and announce next week. So do head back over here to see if you have won. For now, if you've enjoyed this video, we would love to welcome you to our Facebook group, Live Art Journaling and Self-Development. The link is below. And of course, don't forget to head over and search through all the other YouTube artists that are part of today's special YouTube hop. And don't forget, you truly, truly matter.